Hi, my name is Michael Gaffney. Welcome to the flower design class. Today we're going to teach you how to do your own bridal bouquet. I am the director of the schools. We have schools all over the country, 2 on the East Coast, New York and Miami, 3 in the Midwest, Minneapolis, Chicago, and Milwaukee, and 3 on the West Coast, San Francisco, LA, and San Diego. And what we do in our flower classes is we instruct people from new school to old school, from beginners to pros, how to design flowers, whether you want to do it for fun or you want to do it for profit. We have never failed. You will learn how to design at our school. So today, we'll get right to designing. We're going to talk about doing your own bridal bouquet. A lot of brides out there interested in doing their own work. I think if you're going to do your own work, you need to have a simple approach to that day. You don't want to do really complicated work on your bridal bouquet because you'll go crazy and you'll be up all night swearing and yelling at your bridesmaids. So keep it simple. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you a really fast, easy tip on how to do a really great bouquet. I mean, this is on the cover of all the magazines. I work for a lot of magazines in New York. I work for a lot of film companies. We do demonstrations for Bloomingdale's, Saks, Neiman Marcus. I just opened Macy's Flower Show last week, and this is one of the designs I showed at Macy's. So, if you're ready, we're going to start designing. Now, remember, on the day of your wedding, you want to keep it fast and simple. So I have chosen today some classic bridal flowers. Let's talk about that for a minute. Why did I choose these flowers? Because they hold up really well. You need flowers that are going to last all day long. You need flowers that you're going to design before the wedding. What day do I do my wedding flowers on? No, not on Saturday morning. I do them on Wednesday. Why? I don't tell the whole world. Shh. The reason I do them on Wednesday is because these flowers are shipped from around the world. They're already in your warehouses, ready for designing. What are they doing from Wednesday to Saturday? Sitting in buckets and trucks and warehouses, gathering bacteria and dehydrating. So you want to get your flowers. That's a good tip, girls. You can do your bouquets on Wednesday, Thursday for that Saturday wedding. You're going to seal them in crowning glory. I've talked about it a million times. And then you're going to spray that on top, and it's going to hold them, like laminating them with wax. You're going to seal them, and your flowers will be perfect on Saturday. So that's how you're going to do it. So here's the flowers I've chose today. Classic bridal flowers. Hydrangeas, everybody loves hydrangeas. They're America's flowers. Gerbera daisies, can't go wrong. Beautiful, sort of a champagne, creamy, buttery yellow roses. And stock. And this is how I teach in my schools. Basic structural design that works every time. Flower designing is this much creativity and that much formula, patterns, and techniques. So once you learn these patterns and techniques, you will always produce gorgeous flowers. So the schools are famous for producing gorgeous work on your first day when you come to class. You'll be like, I can't believe I made this. But guess what? You were just never shown how. So I'm going to show you a real basic idea for a bridal bouquet. We're going to start with these beautiful yellow roses. And I talk about in class, I often give geometric patterns to my brides on her wedding day. Does everybody see a triangle there? Of course you do. So that is our focal point. Now I'm going to take my hydrangeas. Let's talk about hydrangeas 1 minute. Why do they droop all the time on the way to the church? Because the word comes from hydrate. These drink water, and when they come out the surface, they stop drinking, they die. So the tips to hydrangeas, number 1, pull off all these big leaves. I like to leave the little ones on because it protects the blossoms while I'm working with them. So pull off these big leaves, and then go buy yourself some alum, A-L-U-M. It's available at spice stores. It's available at some Whole Foods stores. It's a powder they use for pickling and canning, and if you dip the stems in alum, these turn rock hard with water. It is the secret. And San Francisco is sold in every flower market, not in New York, Miami, Chicago. No one's caught on yet. Just San Francisco are the hipsters out there. They've got alum in every window, so you've got to get alum. It is the whole key. So I'm going to take my hydrangeas and I'm going to peel off my big leaves, and I'm going to just collar around my roses. See what I'm doing there? Going right around like shirt collar. And when you're done, you're going to spray this whole bouquet with crowning glory. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I usually use about 4 or 5 depending on the size of the hydrangeas. These are beautiful from New Zealand hydrangeas. Right into the camera. It's pretty already, isn't it? Then I call what I say, put some mortar between the bricks. So you're going to take up a couple other roses, and here's the whole secret. This is why you come to our schools, is because you would do this. No, you have to lay them on either side, either left or right, through your bouquet. That's what makes it go round, is that motion. So now I'm gonna take some roses. See how I'm laying this? Through my bouquet, I'm gonna add some roses in between the cracks. I call it mortar between the bricks. Like that. Hold them up nice and high and snug. See where my hand is? Nice and high. And I'm just gonna lay some roses in the cracks all the way around. Maybe I'll double them up in some areas. Why not? So now sometimes they break. That's okay. You can use these for the boutonnieres later on when you're doing your men's flowers. So now I've added some roses all around the outside. Pull up my headliners in the middle. Make sure they're still nice and tall. So I've got start of a nice bridal bouquet going. Then I'm going to take some Gerbera daisies and watch this. You just funnel them right through the hydrangeas. And you're just going to pull that right into your bouquet like that. So they're going to sit real pretty right on top. So we're going to funnel some hydrangeas through our bouquets. Gerber daisies right through the center like that. They almost work like a flower holder. So I've got that. And I'm going to switch to this side and put a fourth one there. You'll notice that I often work in geometric patterns. It's very common. That I naturally go for a square, triangle, shapes that a bride recognizes since 5th grade. So now I've got nice formation of bridal bouquet, and if you want to get really deluxe, we'll add a little stock. Stock is one of my favorite flowers, and again, a lot of times it's rather leggy. It's a cross between a line and a mass flower. So when I add my stock, I'll often rip off the heads like this, and I'll trim it out with some stock, like that. So this bridal bouquet would typically sell for about $150, $175, depending on the market you're in. So I'm going to add some stock today, like that. I'm running out of hand. But you can see how nice this is turning out, like that. I should have taken more of these leaves off. Don't leaves in your bouquets. You think they'll be pretty? They usually make a bouquet look cheaper. So I'm just going to trim off the heads. Notice how I'm doing that right there. So we still have that nice round effect. Then, to finish it off, I'm going to take some greenery. This is Italian ruscus. I'm just going to snip off some greenery and trim around the outside. Just a little touch of greens right there. See that? Nice and pretty. Like that. Put a little over here. Switching hands with my bouquet. I just switch hands and work from either sides of the bouquet. And I'll put a little over here. And then I'm going to adjust everything one last time. Make sure it's nice and round. I'm going to take my wires like this, and I'm going to take it. Watch how I do this. I take 2 or 3 wires. See that finger right there? Can you see that? I'm going to hold this real high. I'm going to lay my wires on top of my bouquet. Right there. I'm going to pull it around. I'm going to squeeze these. I'm going to twist my bouquet a couple times over. Now, you got your basic bridal bouquet. If you go to my website, Flower School 101, you'll see how I finish and wrap these stems. Notice how thick this is. There's a tip on my online classes about thinning this out so the bride doesn't have to handle 2 hands every time she makes a bouquet. You can do it with 1. So the tip for thinning this out, get this nice and thin, pull all this junk out, then you can trim these stems. So go to my website and watch that. And again, now remember the cascades. Every girl thinks she wants a cascade. I always say I used to make those a lot in the 80s. If they want a cascade, a lot of times I'll take something like ruscus and I'll attach it to the front like this. So on the day of the wedding, she gets both. She gets both the best worlds, a hand-tied and a cascade. And I'll attach that in front, and she'll come down the aisle like that. So to finish this off, go to my website and you'll see how I wrap up the stems. I use a floral tape and a ribbon, and easy breezy summer designing from the New York School of Flower Design. Remember, we have schools all over the country, and just go to flowerschool101.com and join us.